evening. Oh, sorry. Good evening and welcome for episode 2 of Rolling with the Road. We want to start with a formal apology.
We actually want to issue a public apology about episode 1. To be fair, it was episode 1 jitters, I would say, was part of it.
And post Paddy's Day.
Well, that was definitely Ivrahane. That is the main issue. We basically did episode 1 straight after St. Paddy's Day, and I will never ever do that again.
No, like, to put context on it, I was sitting at the cafe just before us rolling into our first podcast, and I had no Wi-Fi, my phone wasn't working. I'd sent Jack a message about an hour before saying meet me at this cafe at 12 o'clock, hoping that he would just appear.
Like pure brain fog.
And literally just sitting there, and I was like contemplating, like, does my mum still love me? And I knew that you were definitely in a space where you were like, should we even do this podcast?
No, like I was beside myself. Like I in my head was like, okay, I'm gonna wake up at like 7 a.m.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna like go through stuff for the podcast. Woke up at 11.
As you do.
I had to jump on the subway, got the subway down here, and then met you in the cafe, which Sarah wasn't even expecting me to meet her in the cafe. She's like, oh, thank God you're here. And I was like, why? She's like, I have no Wi-Fi. And I was like, so I just like happened to be in this cafe and you found me. This is 5 minutes before we're about to start. So it's 5 minutes before we're about to start. I'm like, okay, great, we found you. How are you? Dying. I'm in a hoop. Bad form. Like really, really bad. And then, no, me too. Right, so we'll head up. And off we went, across the road, upstairs, walk in the door, and then we have to sit down and we're speaking on camera for an hour.
Yeah,
like, it was
and
really...
you felt like the room was too cold. I felt like the room was too hot. We just were not in
I was
sync.
shaking. I was absolutely shaking. What's that from? I think it was like Parks and Recreation, and it's like, not to be dramatic, but that felt like 100 Days in Hell and the absolute worst day of my life. And then I went home and went to bed straight after because I just couldn't do it. Like I was saying to Sarah, I was like, I was so hungover that I was like, I'm going to leave New York. I'm going to move back to Ballina. I want to be a farmer. Like,
you just want the simple life.
I want the simple life. I want to work the land and reap the rewards and just have no phone and nobody can find me. And that definitely means no podcast.
Then we've got. So as we mentioned before, Jack and I love knowing the mundane things about people. It's questions we always ask each other. It's like, what did you do for the morning? What did you have for breakfast? And what workout did you do? So Jack, I'm going to start with you. What have you done for the morning?
Send it over my way. Okay, today wasn't ideal.
Don't tell me it was another 11 a.m. wake up.
No, it wasn't. It was like 9:30.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's not too.
That's
kind of where I'm at.
Okay.
Lately, but my schedule is all over the place. Woke up at 9:30 and had yogurt, and I had 2 boiled eggs and 2 slices of toast and a blood orange.
A blood orange.
A blood orange.
Okay, yes, we want to paint the picture for the audience.
A blood orange and an espresso.
Okay, lovely.
Yes.
And did you do a workout?
Not this morning, no.
Okay, you skipped it today.
I skipped the workout this morning, yeah,
okay.
but I was tight.
Well, okay, my breakfast is going to make you sick.
Oh God.
Well, okay, I have an obsession at the moment, which is French toast, which you would love. Maple syrup, amazing. Sourdough dipped in eggs and egg whites and loads of maple syrup and berries. 10 out of 10. But at the moment, I have been eating out quite a bit because that's what you do in New York City.
And you know what they say, girlfriend, a minute on the lips, a lifetime on the lips.
And I was like, okay, right, I've dinner tonight. I have loads of events coming up. So I was just like, I'm going to be like, high protein breakfast. And I'm just going to do it. And I'd leftover mince in the fridge. No, Jack.
Not mince.
Yes, mince. Leftover mince and eggs for my breakfast with some vegetables and sourdough, but it's high protein. It packs something like 60 grams of protein, so I start my day off to an absolute winner. The other thing I do, Jack, before you continue, because I know you've lots to say.
I do.
The other thing I did is I had a shot of apple cider vinegar with lemon, so this helps with your gut. I think I mentioned it before, but I'm currently studying nutrition at the moment, and I love understanding the whole balance of hormones, bloating, all that stuff. So what I start my morning with is a shot of lemon and apple cider vinegar, and then my supplements, and then like a high protein breakfast.
Okay.
So Jack, tell
I'm
me what you
interested
think.
in the apple cider vinegar. I'm gonna get back to that.
Okay.
Let's circle back to the mince of it all. So how was it served? Was it mince and scrambled egg or mince and fried egg?
I put them all together.
Just all together.
Just to mix it all up.
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure.
So, I've actually been
Gordon
doing.
Ramsay, come on in.
Yeah, come on. I've been actually doing chicken scrambled as well, and it's actually not. It's chicken chili scramble.
Chicken sausage.
No,
Just whole
chicken, like
chicken.
pulled chicken.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
So today I was like, I'm gonna mix it up a bit, and I had mince. Normally I have pulled chicken that I've prepped in the fridge, but I was like, I had mince, so I was like, I'm gonna do a bit of a Mexican breakfast sort of vibe, and it was actually so nice.
Yeah. Well, you know what? The way when you framed it there as a Mexican breakfast,
Yeah.
that actually does sound kind
A
of
bit of
appealing.
avocado on the side and high protein, happy days.
So I do need to definitely, and this is going to be good for this, because I do need to tune into more like being intuitive with how I eat.
Yeah.
And I get, so one of my hyperfixation breakfasts that I've been having recently is 3 eggs a la francais. Do you know what that is?
No.
It's basically scrambled egg.
Okay.
But it's like you do them like on and off the heat. So
Oh
they
yeah,
come
yeah.
to,
Slow.
they-
I've been looking at
no
videos of
milk.
this. Yeah.
And they come out really nice. With spinach, and mushroom,
Okay.
and some cheese, a little bit of cheddar cheese at the end when it's done cooking, with a slice of sourdough and some Cholula hot sauce. That's like decent,
Yeah,
right?
that's a good breakfast.
Yeah, it is a good breakfast.
But sometimes we just don't get enough protein early in the morning, and then it leaves you hungry for the rest of the day. Whereas if you have high protein early in the morning, it means that, you know, the rest of the day you don't have a lot of food noise in your head because you're actually really satiated and full.
Yeah.
So I had, but before that, sorry, I forgot to mention, I did a run and I did my gym, and I had, I went into Barry's because they do the best protein shakes you will ever taste. But it's
Well, the
because they
Equinox
use.
ones are up there too.
Yeah, I haven't tried those.
You need to.
But I'm not allowed because there's a 12-month
Yes.
membership.
12-month membership, and also you can't use the cafe even if you're not a member.
Oh, okay, rude. But we do, the Barry's do like unbelievable shakes, but they use Pro Mix protein, which is 10 out of 10. So I had one of those as well, and that. So that's all I've eaten basically for the day so far.
And what's the difference with Pro Mixes to like another protein
I
bar?
don't know, like, you know how you just taste protein sometimes, you're like, that tastes like
Yeah, it's really
protein,
like
whereas this is like, that tastes like vanilla essence.
Okay, nice.
So it's light, it's nice.
Okay. I wish I did a workout this morning, but I went to bed late last night. So I was just like, to be fair, I was planning on taking a rest day today.
Yeah.
As well. And I have family visiting today. So from my mom's side, I won't be able to work out later, and I get so annoyed then.
I can't do workouts late in the evening. Like I'm a morning person. That's it. Are you morning or evening?
I can kind of do whatever, probably morning or afternoon.
That's such a man's mentality. Like, I feel like most men are like, I'll just run whenever. Like, I'm like, no, I gotta run in the morning because otherwise it just takes up too much brain power.
I actually had a theory that girls go to the gym more in the morning than men do.
I would fully believe that one.
Yeah, because I feel you see more guys in the gym in the evening.
Yes.
So I should probably be going in the evening then.
Yes, you should. You might find him in there.
Keeping my eye out. But no, I was just kind of tired because myself and Sinead went to see a show on Tuesday, so we had a couple of drinks, and then I was out and about yesterday, so was just said I'd sleep today.
I think, speaking of shows, there is so many shows on in New York that you feel like you need to go to. But one that I went to with Anna Rowe, our other cousin, our beauty queen.
Yes.
I went to an event with her on Saturday or Sunday called Shanakia. So you are familiar with Shanakia.
Yes.
It's an amazing event. It's actually one of the best events I reckon I've ever been to. It's authentic, it's real, it's not for social media, it's like pure, it's the people in the room, there's no cameras allowed.
Environment.
So safe, and it feels like everyone's there just to listen and actually like take something from it. So basically what it is, it's a show that's set up by Kieran Gaffney.
Yeah.
And
shout out Gaff.
Shout out to Gaff. It's actually amazing. He set it up in COVID and it's now gone worldwide.
In Limerick, right?
In Limerick, and it's it's and I obviously founded in Ireland,
Mm-hmm.
run by an Irish guy, and now the fact that it's gone worldwide, and that like it started off by, you know, the storytelling of Irish people and how we have the natural gift of the gab.
Yeah.
It started off there,
Exhibit
and
A.
obviously Exhibit A, yes. So the event I went to at the weekend was, the topic was home. I've been to one that the topic is family, and then I've been to one that the topic is love. And we know that I'm a sucker for love, and
Yeah.
love is, that was probably one of the best ones I was ever
Sarah
at.
loves love.
I love love, and I love everyone's love story, and I like to know all the details, and we debrief all the time on that stuff, and there's much to come on this podcast about that. But what I would say is the events are ordinary people speaking about their story, and everyone has a great story. So I've found that like some of the events, particularly the one about love, it was like different forms of love. It was like a guy talking about the lack of love with his father, someone else talking about their first love, someone else talking about, you know, the unrequited love. So like there was so many things that you're like, you're taking so much from it. But Jack, you have a way better experience than I do with Shanakia, because you actually spoke at it. So can you talk to that?
Well, thank you to you. I spoke at it.
Yes.
I don't know what the usual process is for speaking at Shanakia, but I think you have to, like, I was on the website and I like pretty sure you have to apply to like speak
Yeah.
at it, and you have to like send an example of your writing to speak at it. And I would imagine, I spoke at the Brooklyn event on the 13th of January, so I'd imagine that was like, you know, busy. But Sarah and was it with Fiona?
Yeah.
So Sarah and her sister Fiona went to Shanakia in Dublin, and I don't know, you must have got a brainwave.
I was just listening to Gaff speaking, and I was like, Gaff would love Jack Rowe, and Jack Rowe would be unbelievable at speaking at this event, because you just be your ordinary self. And some people are like performing up there, and other people are just like so raw, so authentic. And I was like, Jack can do either. So I was like, he needs to be on this show.
Yeah, and she said that I think that Gaff is good looking as well.
I was like, Jack might fancy Gaff. Do you, Jack?
Well, anyway, but we spoke about, the theme when I was there was childhood.
Yes.
Which is nice. And so it is all kind of just large themes, and you think you know where it's going to go. Now, I will put my hand up and say, I think I went kind of like a basic enough route. Like this was childhood, like I like spoke about my childhood.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
Whereas there was another girl who told this kind of like backward, like kind of inverted poem about a friend that she was friends with since she was born, and that her friend was always there for her, but then it sounded like her friend's health deteriorated, and then she was helping the friend, and then she finished it up with like, I love you, Granny, or something like that. It was so nice.
Yeah.
And I was there with Anna, and like we'd had a couple of drinks, like me and Anna were like holding on to each other, we were like, Patricia, like, do you know what I mean? And Nan, and like all the grannies in the world, you know. So that was really nice. I was number 2 to go up, so it was probably the most
Were you
ideal.
nervous? Yeah.
I was.
Yeah.
No, I definitely was. Like, I had pretty much like written down what I was gonna say a couple of times, like on pen and paper, because I'm old school, and went to a bar in Brooklyn, the Commodore. Went there, got a beer, and wrote it all over again, and kind of fine-tuned it, and then made my way over to the event, met Anna, met my friend Fiona O'Leary, and Laura and Fern, and then we went in, and yeah, it was kind of like, okay, no one really talked to me now, like, I'm here, I kind of need to get into the zone. And I was sitting, and like, everyone else was standing, you know, socializing, and I was like, no, I'm like, don't want to talk to anyone right now. I was getting quite nervous. And then the show starts, Gaff comes out, and he kind of did an introduction, and then the first girl went up, and she did a piece about architecture, and she's an architect student, and she kind of spoke about like the bricks of a house that create a home, and like all this kind of stuff. And I actually ran into her recently, and she was fabulous. And then they were like, okay, Jack will come up, but I was so nervous when I went up, or Nerner as I like to say.
Nerves were going to correct
Yes,
you there.
I know.
Yeah, come on, we need to get it right.
I know. And so went up, and was so Nerner that like the microphone was in the thing.
Yeah.
And in the holder, and like I was like, if I raised my arms, I'd have been like shake, you know, I'd have been like, hi, thank you very much. And so I was like, just stood there staring at everyone, and then I was like, Kieran, take the mic out of the holder, and he was like, oh sorry. He was like, run over, take the mic out of the holder and give it to me. I was like, thank you very much. And then I started, and I just told a story about growing up in Ballina, about how much I love Britney Spears, about...
You will do your party piece of Britney Spears one day on this podcast.
Absolutely. I mean, you know, Britney Spears deserves her own segment on this podcast.
Yeah.
Like, that's my queen, Hoe. Like, I love her. We're like this. I seriously, nobody ever come for her because it's gonna go downtown Julie Brown. And you remember how much I loved her.
Yeah, you were obsessed from day dot. I think you had the same pair of heels that she had.
No, same leotard, same wig. No, I loved her, like, and I still do. And I'm gonna park that one there because that could really go on and on. I need to do like a thesis about her. But I spoke about Britney Spears. I spoke about growing up in Ballina. I spoke about like doing like dancing when I was younger.
Yeah.
And I kind of like wrapped it up with a bow, like saying that like I would do like a dance lesson in the future or something like that because I didn't really do it when I was younger. But yeah, it was lovely. It was such a nice event, and I was person number 2. So I sat back down. I had a tequila soda under the chair, ready to go. And
you were ready.
Oh.
That's the thing. It's one of those events that you could keep going to time and time again because every time it takes, you know, you get this new perspective from it, this newfound perspective.
And it's like, they really do such a good job at creating a safe space because it's not stand-up comedy.
No.
It's sad,
you
it's
can't take
funny,
pictures
it's
or anything.
happy, you can't take pictures. But like, I am familiar with stand-up comedy, and like when you see how that sausage
you
is
are
made,
born to be in stand-up comedy.
I don't think so.
Do you not think?
No, I really don't. I know you say that.
I know it's pressure. I feel like there'd be a lot of rejection in it. I think it would be really hard, but I do think that you'd be really good at it.
It's not that it's pressure, it's just...
But like, what if the audience doesn't laugh?
Oh, and I've seen it.
What do
time
you
and
do?
time again.
Just
you
keep
move on.
rinse and repeat. Yeah.
It's gritty. You know, it's not what you would think it is because I've seen it up close, and it's tough industry for sure. But yeah, I think that's why Shanagee is so nice, because it's like a real like place that you can come to speak and talk about sad things, happy things, embarrassing things. And you know, they brought up the wild cards as well. Did they do that on your show?
Yeah, they did. Yeah.
So they like brought up people who didn't know they were going to speak. And it was just so nice. It was a great way to get to know people. I saw a couple of people from DCU were there that I went to college with. And then once it was over, we had a ball. Went out that night to Lyra.
Jack, I have to say something today.
What?
You
What
are
now?
looking spick and span. I love your new jumper, and I know it's new.
Yeah, you do know it's new.
I know it's new. How do I know it's new?
How does she know it's new? Well, let me tell you. We actually had a photo shoot yesterday
with POV Brand Management.
Yes, with Phoebe and Fiona.
Phoebe and Fiona.
Yes, that's like a brand name, Phoebe and Fiona.
Love it.
Yeah. But basically got this brand new jumper in H&M.
Yeah.
For said photo shoot.
Yes.
And I like.
Were you nervous?
Thought I was nervous. Well, yeah, no, I was, but I was also like, you know, I'm ready for this. I thought I was the hottest thing yesterday. Yeah. And I didn't actually tell you this part, but I was walking down the stairs in the subway, and then I was walking into the turnstiles. Yeah. Did I tell you this?
No.
Walking into the turnstiles, like music playing. I'm on my way to a photo shoot. Get out of my way. And I didn't scan my phone. I went like over the turnstiles. It was like, great, okay. And then so anyway, went over to Williamsburg to meet you and the girls, and we found a couple of places to take some cool shots. And I had a shirt on that I thrifted in Midtown the other day as well, and so I took my jumper off and then had the shirt, and then Sarah was like, Jack, what is on your head?
We would attach photos to it because it's fluff all over his head.
Blue
it was like
fluff.
It was like that guy from Simpsons, Sideshow Bob. Like, it was his head, and there was so much going on. I was like, you need one of those rollers. I always need them for my jackets, but you need one of those rollers for your head. We honestly spent 10 minutes trying to get the fluff off your head.
No, Sarah was like a chimpanzee mother. Like, she was just like picking fluff off my head, like, and she was just like, there, did more, and like I was like, this is just so embarrassing. Like, I was like, let me go. Like, I want to do my photo shoot now. It was so embarrassing. But then I was saying that my coffee cup actually kind of matches my attire. Yes. My color scheme.
But you're not happy about it.
No, I'm fuck happy about this. Blue Bottle Coffees, your days are numbered. Today was the first iced coffee of the season for me. So big deal. Because I actually do seasonal coffees. Like, when it's cold, just get a hot coffee. You know, Quiva Shelley, I'm talking to you. Like, it's like, why in the depths of winter are you getting an iced latte? I don't get that. Or a Quiva. Me and Quiva went to get coffee in I guess it was probably October or November. It was like really cold. Like, I was like, I'll have like a cappuccino, and Quiva was like, I'll get the iced daydream matcha. Like, you know, it doesn't scream winter to me.
Yeah.
So anyway, today I said I get an iced Americano, and they gave it to me in this. What's that about?
What do you want? What are you after?
Like a plastic cup, a see-through plastic cup with a cover and a straw.
Well,
Sorry,
what about the whole sustainable thing that we were talking about earlier?
I mean, I am sustainable in other ways.
Yes,
I know I got this shirt.
And you would recycle the plastic, and you would use that plastic up again and again.
Yeah, I would like make something out of it.
Yeah.
You know? And
art.
yes, exactly.
Catherine Lahans.
Catherine Lahan, love her, Miss Newman. I thrift a lot. Like, I know this is from H&M, but the shirt I got yesterday is from...
Yeah, like I think to speak about fashion, Jack, you obviously love it. We're going to get back to your shoes in a second because we have many questions on those.
Thank you.
But in terms of fashion, I feel like I am such a spender, and I have.
Yeah, well, you look expensive right now, girlfriend. Apart from that coffee drop.
No, that's the thing. I was just about to mention that coffee drop. That is such such a me thing, and I have one here. It's just hidden.
Yeah.
But I've been trying to get my wardrobe the last 2 years down to a capsule wardrobe. So I basically been selling my clothes to this girl in Melbourne. She takes 50%, I take the other 50%.
She buys all your clothes.
I give her my clothes that I want to sell, and then she takes 50% of the profit. Which, Jack, I know you go, oh, that's a bit much, but like in my head, I'm like, I'm too lazy to sell it. I'm never going to do the whole Depop thing where I'm like throwing out parcels all the time. So I'm like, you do all the logistical hard stuff for me, and then
so she sells it.
She sells it for me.
Oh, I thought there was just like a girl who you sell everything to and she wears it all.
No,
like it was like Norman Bates or something.
No. So it's so
that was so weird.
No, that would be so weird. But she's like, it's my savior. So I'm getting my wardrobe down to like staple colors. You know, what Fiona always says to me, my sister, she's like, any chance of a lick of color in that outfit? And I'm like, I love the whole like block color thing. I'd be like, I'm not wearing pink shoes with this outfit.
You know what my favorite Fiona Rowe dress was?
What? It's polka dots.
No, but she loves polka dots. You know the yellow one?
She re-wore it 100 times.
Yeah.
She would be sick.
That dress is iconic.
Yeah.
It is though.
She loves that yellow dress. Yeah,
that was
100%.
The Instagram caption. But she does love polka dots. And Jenny Moran used to say to Fiona, she's like, no, Fiona needs to be within like a 1 meter radius of a polka dot at any given moment.
Patterns. And I'm like, no, not to the pattern. Just keep it basic. Yeah. But I also feel like I've been spending so much money on clothes. So I'm trying to get down to a capsule wardrobe. And then I also been trying to rent dresses. So shout out to Darlow Rentals in Dublin, Rachel Malloy's company. It's amazing. Like, it's so good. It's basically Aussie fashion brought to Ireland, and she's doing so well. So I feel like that up and coming stuff is brilliant. But like, there's nothing for men. We talked about this.
There really isn't. I think that there is like one or two options for men, but like my housemate Sinead, Fiona Hart, they're using Newly. Have you heard of that?
No.
So Newly is like, you rent, I think you just like get a box of clothes every week and you pick what you want. It's like HelloFresh but for clothes.
Okay, wow.
Yeah, but you send it back. So then you
but
choose.
how do you know what sort of, like, do they send you random stuff, or do you pick your wardrobe
so you
essentially?
go online on like a Sunday and then you pick what you want and put in your sizes and then it gets sent to the house.
That has to be an only New York thing.
Yeah, probably a US thing, but probably only in major cities.
Okay, yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like, I don't think it's in Bunnyconn yet.
Very cool idea though.
Yeah. Was that not funny?
Well, it depends.
I was like, Bunnyconn.
It's one of those I just missed the mark.
Okay, yeah.
I was on to the next topic.
Yeah, you just think too fast.
Yeah.
But yeah, I was like, I would love that for boys, but like I would get bolognese and lasagna and stew and coffee and matcha and muck and beans all down the front of mine. Like, I would like be sending it back.
Beans. But, speaking of beans, my friend Brina Malloy, she's gonna hate that nickname came up. Imagine your nickname being Beans. Like, it is the worst nickname of all time. I'm so sorry, Brina. We gave you that one and it just stuck years ago.
I love it.
I love it. Because she's so not a Beans.
No,
like,
she's so not.
You know, she's so put together,
so
beautiful girl, and then her nickname is Beans. It's just the best thing ever.
Yeah, it's a good one. So I would have beans all down my front, but yeah, I would like to look into that a bit more. Like, my wardrobe, unbeknownst to myself, probably is a capsule wardrobe. Do you know what I mean?
I doubt it. I've seen a lot of patterns in your wardrobe, but we need to talk about your shoes.
Okay, so these are my shoes, as you can see here. My toe is here.
Sorry, hold on. Do you ever recycle Conor Rowe's shirts and wear them?
Not really. No, sometimes he has some things that I would wear. He has some nice polo shirts or like Ralph Lauren jumpers that I've worn, and John Rowe had a couple that I got.
I always rob Dad's shirts and wear them as the oversized shirts.
But see,
Love
the thing
it.
with them is that they all had V-necks.
Yeah.
I hate V-necks.
Yeah.
It's like, what do you want? Like just a white t-shirt here, or like am I supposed to wear a shirt when it's kind of casual? I just hate V-necks.
Anyway, back to the shoes.
Yeah, so these shoes, my toe is here first of all, so they
How?
here.
So 3 sizes too big.
I think it's a size and a half too big, but they showed up on my doorstep, quite literally.
How?
Yeah, they just showed up on my doorstep.
That's a mystery.
And it is a mystery, and they were addressed to our apartment. And
so you honestly don't know whose they are?
No.
Oh wow! So you weren't gifted them?
No. Well, I mean, if
anyone wants
anyone wants to gift me, let me know. You didn't? Did you send them?
No, I didn't send them, but I'm.
You would send me shoes
I'm more
in the
dead
wrong
at
size.
the fact that you're wearing shoes that big because you're happy about how they look.
Yeah, well, here
Anything
I don't wear
for
them.
beauty.
Yeah, anything. What is it?
Anything for beauty.
Yeah. Oh,
beauty
absolutely.
at a price.
Beauty is pain.
Yes.
I only wear them here to the podcast. I don't like wear them out and about.
Okay, just when you want to look your very best at the podcast.
Absolutely. What, do you want me to wear my old
for
grubby
the
runners?
Camera.
I'll wear my old grubby runners next, and we'll see how you guys like it. But I don't think. I think it's gonna be great. Yeah, that's that.
I think that's that. Yeah.
Thank you, Gabe.
Yeah.
I love your shoes. Yeah, they're cool.
Yeah, they're actually really
they're
cool.
Asics.
Yeah, I like the color.
Yeah, very cool.
Segment 4.
One thing Sarah and I have been talking about is how you can be growing up in the same house as somebody, and we kind of use house as a broader term. House
as in the Rowe house.
Yeah, like the House of Rowe.
Yeah.
But like just broader family, or else as well in your home that you grew up in with your direct family, and we were talking about how you can grow up in one house and be so different to your siblings.
Yeah, and I feel like when I look at Lauren and Fiona, I'm like, we're similar in ways, but like in other ways, they're like, Sarah, what are you doing? Like, when are you going to get a real job? And I'm like, guys, I work about 4 jobs.
Yeah, no.
I am non-stop hustling.
Don't hustle the hustler.
Literally, I'm like, there's sport, there's nutrition, there's media stuff, there's just, it just keeps going, you know.
We're kind of like in that way how
yeah,
we have, like,
I get
hustles.
bored. Like, I can't really do the whole 9 to 5 thing. Like,
I could not imagine you doing that.
I'd like a bit of stability in it, but I also love the chaos around it, where it's kind of makes me think, and I'm like, every day I'm like, what's going to come up today? Whereas Lorna and Fiona are a bit more structured like that, and they're like, no, they have like a regimented routine. So I feel like we're so different, but at the same time, it's like power to them. Like, I definitely take things from them, and like obviously when they're your older siblings as well, like you look up to them and you're like, you're learning from them as you go. But at the same time, you're like, we're so different. But you and Ted are like chalk and cheese.
No, Ted and I are we're so opposite. But as he's gotten like older now, and like I've gotten older as well, like we've gotten like so much more like,
aligned.
Yeah, so much more aligned.
Yeah,
like he's hilarious.
Is he?
Like,
and you're saying you're hilarious too. That's what you're about to
I don't
say.
know about that.
Yeah, we're so similar that
but
way.
No, he's just so funny. But I just think it's just like one of those things. Like, it's like you grow up in the same house, but you can just be so different.
But then it's like we were talking about earlier about our twin cousins Harry and Zoe, and Zoe makes a good point that I think we can all relate to.
Yeah, I spoke to someone recently who is a twin, and we started talking about star signs.
Yeah.
And I don't know much about star signs.
Yeah.
Do you?
A bit, yeah, but like as in, it's only when you're in the depths of despair and
you
want
Cancer?
No, I'm Leo.
You're Leo.
Yeah,
okay.
it's only
that means nothing to me. Really.
Yeah, it's when you're in the depths of despair, you're like, I'm going to read my horoscope.
Yeah,
and it's so talking to me.
I'm Gemini.
Okay.
And to everybody says that makes total sense. Like, they're like,
yeah,
oh.
Gemini, that actually does make sense.
Oh, here we go.
Geminis are kind of psychos.
Thank you.
Yeah, but crazy in a good way. Yeah, you don't want to be normal, Jack.
Yeah, no.
We're not normal.
No, definitely not. But like just like to give some like context for Geminis, like other Geminis are like Donald Trump, Kanye West, Jack Rowe. Yeah. So it's a good lineup of us there. But yeah, so then I spoke to a
Harry and Zoe.
Twin. Well, first I spoke to a different set of twins.
Okay, cool.
And we were talking about star signs, and I was like, wait, you guys have the same exact star sign? They're like, yeah. And I'm like, but you're like totally different. And so we have twin cousins, Harry and Zoe.
Yeah.
And I messaged Zoe about it and said, like, what do you think about that? Like, there's a guy, like, I talked to these guys and, you know, I was intrigued to hear your thought on it. And Zoe said basically that outwardly they're quite different, but like internally they're pretty similar. It's in terms of values and stuff like that, which is mostly what horoscopes are about, I think.
And then, but that's such an important point as well, because like we say, like families, we grow up and we become really different over time, but deep down our values are generally the same. Like, and that's why we're so close as a family, and why Lorna, Fiona and I get on really well. There's a cohesive relationship, because it's like deep down at the root of it, we do know the difference between right and wrong, and we kind of have those values set within our family. But outwardly, again, we live very different routined lives.
Very different day-to-day lives. But it is about those kind of anchors that like bring you back to your family. And like, I mean, you know, we are very lucky in that there really is no outlier there, and there, you know, in other homes, in other families, like there really are, and like that can be very challenging for people.
I'm a Gemini too.
Oh, you are?
Oh.
Are you a May Gemini or a June Gemini?
June Gemini.
June Gemini too.
Yeah, wait, what's your date of birth?
The 15th.
I'm the 18th.
Ooh.
There you go. Oh my God. So it's actually, wait guys, sorry, it's actually Donald Trump, Kanye West, me and Isabella here. So we're the Geminis in the house. Geminis in the house. Yeah, love that. I think Gemini, my bestie Quiva is a Gemini as well. She's a May Gemini though. Yeah. I think it's
Geminis and Leos do get along quite well.
Yeah.
My best friend is Leo.
really.
Yeah. That's interesting.
But then I think the whole thing with horoscopes as well is like, you know, if the shoe fits. Do you ever hear that phrase?
No.
Like, it's like, well, my shoes don't fit right now, but like they say like, you know, it's like, let's say you look up your horoscope and it's like, you are going to be doing something different today.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, if the shoe fits, just put it on. Like,
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
like, you know,
yeah.
Cinderella, like just put on the
Yeah,
shoe.
yeah.
And it's like, oh yeah, maybe I am going to
Yeah.
do something different today.
Yeah.
That's like me. You know, you
And then
just, you
something
make it,
pops up and you do, yeah.
you make it kind of work for you, I guess.
Yeah, we're better
yeah,
today
is it
now.
good today?
It wasn't bad last time.
No?
No, I didn't think so.
Yeah, we kind of were a bit like, oh, we're shady.
I think we were just in such a bad, like, honestly, I look at that and I honestly am like, I think we should like maybe drop both episodes on the same day.
Yeah, I think so too.
Do you wanna
I think
just
that's
do
a good one.
that?
Yeah, I'm happy to do that, and we can do it a week later. Yeah.
Yeah, I think 1 and 2.
Yeah.
And we'll say we've dropped one. What?
Just to like save.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
here's episode 1 and here's our apology.
I think so.
Because it's like, but Sarah, I even look at that video and I'm like, I look depressed in that. You should have brought me somewhere like
Yeah.
to see a therapist, because I literally like my skin is grey. Guys, I went to go get Botox.
Since we saw you last week?
No, well, yes, since you saw me last week, I didn't get it. Like, I looked so ugly in the thing because I was so hungover. And, like, I was, like, went to get Botox and your one was, like, it's going to be $600. And I was, like, no. And I was, like, I want $200 worth. That's what my girl at home does for me. And she was, like, no, I'm only giving you 6. I was, like, right, good luck. So, you've lost a customer. And then she was, like, no, come back. I'll give you 2. I go, see you later. Bye.
Dead.
Yeah.
We need to talk about that later.
I think I'm just going to put in what just happened. Just
Oh
there.
yeah, okay, do 100%.
Perfect.
Yeah, why not? Yeah.
Perfect. Okay. So.
Okay. Hannah Montana.
Yes, so Hannah Montana. This is the life. Hold on tight. But
You
we
know
have
I can't sing.
You can't sing.
No,
Sarah.
I can't.
Anyone can sing if they believe in
It's
themselves.
so awkward. It's the one time where I'm like, that and dancing, I'm just like, it's a no for me.
You used to be a good dancer.
No,
I remember
Anya
Grania.
Egan's.
Yes, Grania Rowe brought me to see one of your dance shows. I remember I was in the front row and it was in the downhill and you guys had feather boas and you were like performing the Pussycat Dolls and you were like 10 years old and dancing so inappropriately.
Oh, I remember it, but I was so awkward. And Jenna Brennan and Millie Farrell and Brina Malloy were beside me, and all we used to do was laugh.
Yeah.
Like, as in, I just couldn't get through the dance. But I think I have trauma since that time, because girls always used to laugh at me and go, "You're so bad at dancing," and they still say it to me to this day. So it's one thing I just won't do.
I just think I just remember you being kind of good, but remember you were really good at gymnastics.
I could do gymnastics. Yeah, I
Could
love
you go
that.
back to
Backflips.
gymnastics now if you
I
wanted
am
to?
so inflexible now from sport. Like,
Really?
sport has made me like a cardboard box. Like,
I
as it
remember
just
you were like
genuinely
kind of the
so
queen
stiff.
of Nadia Gym for a second.
I could do flips, aerials, you
You're
name
just
it.
very, very gifted athletically.
I just loved it. Like, it was so good for me. But then I feel like since then now, because with sport you lift so much weight and you run so hard all the time, it's like those two things combined don't allow for that kind of more soft moving exercise.
Yes.
Like, I tried to combine it with like yoga and Pilates and stuff like that, but I feel like my body's like tensed up from so much of the hard stuff. I think when I finish sport, I would probably like to go back to more of that kind of like slower exercise stuff.
Yeah.
I think it's just more freeing for the
Yeah.
body.
Like I think my combination of CrossFit and running has made me like really like tense.
Yeah.
And like it would be conducive to doing front flips and stuff like that. I can do a cartwheel and a round off.
Yeah, I could
One
do that
second,
as
I'll
well.
do it.
Yeah, we could
Oh, you
definitely
can?
do that. We
Okay.
do that for our
Can't let me have that one, no?
promo video.
Yeah.
But Hannah Montana. So my like memories of that queen are just, I feel like they're so plentiful, and like I think G-Bomb and Alan Rowe have a lot to answer for this, because I don't really sit down and watch movies or TV now at the moment. And I feel like as an adult, it's not something I've ever done. But as a kid, I could tell you everything about Disney and Nickelodeon. I know all the characters. I
Yeah.
reckon mum and dad were not bothered with me, the last child. And they were like, sit you in front of the TV and you watch and you figure your way through cartoons. So I think now my life is a movie.
Well, that's
From
what you're a
Cartoon
real life
Network.
cartoon.
Yes.
You honestly are a real life cartoon. But that's funny because I remember being in your house watching cartoons all the time. So in the front room. But I remember being in there by myself.
You learn everything you need to know by watching Hannah Montana.
Yeah, Hannah Montana, That's So Raven, You Nasty. All of those shows. But it's basically, the reason we bring it up is because it's the 20th year anniversary
Yeah.
of Hannah Montana. So like that show aired in 2006. And first of all, I love Miley Cyrus so much.
Yeah.
I just think she's such a queen. I listen to her music all the time. I'm currently listening to her song Jaded from her album Endless Summer Vacation. It came out in like 2023. Such a good song. You guys know it? Yeah, great one. Come on, Gabe, get on it. But it's I just think she's such a queen, and I think it was just so nice and nostalgic to see her back on the set, and she looks great. She looks so healthy. She's sober now. Has been through a lot, but like child stars don't always end up as in the same place that she's in. Like Britney Spears is, you know, really going through a lot right now. Amanda Bynes from the Amanda Show. Like, it's very sad what's happened to them. And so to see Miley Cyrus at the other side of it is, I just think that's amazing. And she looks amazing.
But it's so hard to navigate that, like, as a young kid growing up and being in the public eye from such a young age. You're not really understanding it. You realise, I can't live like other young people. Like, they have so many different decisions to make than the normal person growing up. So
Like,
you get it.
I remember looking online and there was a video of Miley Cyrus and she was like smoking from a bong, which is like you smoke like weed from a bong. And she like lost so many deals and there was so much controversy about it. And she was like 17 years old. Like, if I was a celebrity when I was 17, I would be on the cover of every magazine.
Fact.
Day and night. What's he doing now?
Yeah.
And yeah, so I'm gonna move on from that because that would probably not be good for me. But just with the discussion of Hannah Montana at the moment, Raven Simone from That's So Raven was doing a discussion, or excuse me, doing an interview recently, where she was asked about the Disney Mount Rushmore, which is basically Mount Rushmore is, where is Mount Rushmore? Dakota. Have you ever seen it? Is that Dakota? It's a mountain with 4 of the US presidents' faces drilled into it. And so people use it as like, who would your Disney Mount Rushmore be if you were to think of the main Disney stars
That stand out to me. Oh, Zach and Cody.
Oh yeah, so 2 of them up there.
One of them.
One of them.
Yeah,
Okay,
because they just
make
take
them
up
look-
too much. The twins take up too much. So we go Zach.
Zach.
Hannah Montana.
Yes. Raven, surely.
Yeah, Raven, and then Zac Efron.
Oh, very good. I didn't even consider High School
Or
Musical.
even or Sharpay. I loved her.
Yeah,
She
you're
was
a bit
the
of her.
business. Yeah.
You're a bit of her.
Bit of sass, you
yeah.
know?
I want fabulous.
Yeah,
That is
yeah.
not so
Okay, I
good.
used to dance to that one.
Oh, I could tell. I'd say you still listen to that.
I looked at that movie. I used to look at it and be like, I just wish I was there with you guys. Like, I want to be in that movie.
I know, and like, you know,
Loved
I
it.
remember it came out. I think the first movie they're in school, and then the second movie is the summer vacation
Yeah.
one. You know, they go to the
Yeah.
resort or whatever. But you know, they're all in the classroom like summer,
Yes.
summer,
Yeah.
summer.
yeah.
And I was in like 6th class, and we did that.
Okay, so sorry, who's your four?
Oh, I actually have goosebumps of cringe thinking about us in Colleen's.
Summer.
Summer.
Collins and
Collins.
Palma.
It's like, get out.
Yeah.
And like, you know, also like the bell in those American schools like automated.
Yeah.
Whereas like the bell in Collins was like, you'd shake the bell. Like,
Yeah.
you know, it just like wasn't the same thing. Who would my Disney Channel Mount Rushmore be? That's So Raven is up there.
Yeah.
Raven Baxter.
Yeah.
Ronan Hannon met her recently.
Stop.
Yeah,
Where?
here in New York, because he was working in the Bryant Park Hotel and she stayed there.
Love.
But Raven Simone would be up there. I just think her comedic timing was so brilliant. She's just so funny. There was an episode where she performs at this like vegetarian festival because
Yeah.
Chelsea was a vegetarian, and the real performer gets locked in a closet and Raven has
Yeah.
to perform for her, and she comes out, she's like a hippie, and she's like, hello, my name is Sunshine, and like she like sings a song. And I actually I could recite it, but I'm not going to right now. But she ends up singing about fried chicken,
Okay.
and like everyone starts like booing her, and she's like, did I say chicken? Did I meant to say celery? My mom's deep fried celery. And it's just too funny. Like it's honestly too funny to be a kids show.
Yeah.
Like it's like I would sit down and watch it. It was more of a sitcom,
Yeah.
you know. And like I feel like that's kind of lost today. Like kids shows are kids shows. They're so
Yeah.
childish. Like Dog with a Blog. That's so stupid.
I didn't
But
even
then-
know that existed.
No,
Dog
that you
with a
wouldn't even know
blog.
it exists because it's so bad. But then it's like move on from there, and then there's the adult TV
Bluey
shows.
seems to be the business these days.
What's that?
Bluey, the show for kids.
Okay, I don't know kids shows now because you're
Okay.
around like the girls.
Well, yeah, I suppose I'm around Hannah and Haley, my sister's two kids, but they love Bluey. But sorry, you go
My
back
Mount
to
Rushmore,
yeah,
excuse me. So it would be Raven Simone, Hannah Montana. I'd probably also put Zach.
Efron.
No, Zach from Zach
Zac
and
and Cody.
Cody up there, and then maybe I'd do Phineas from Phineas and Ferb.
Okay.
That's
right.
my Mount Rushmore. Okay, I know people are actually going to come for me about that. but
Okay, that's it.
Yeah, but whatever. But you're kind of like the real Hannah Montana.
Mm,
Are you
well-
Hannah in Australia and Ireland elsewhere?
Well, I think knowing that I can live between two different countries, and I used to do summer in Australia and summer in Ireland when our seasons worked like that. But now our seasons are winter in Ireland or winter in Australia, so not so fun. But I used to sing. I didn't actually, but I used to think in my head when Hannah Montana came on, I was like, I definitely have the best of both worlds here with the summer in both places.
Oh, I used to think that about you as well.
And I was like, yeah, maybe I am. But
I would say you're Hannah in Australia because that's where you're doing your job,
yeah.
and then elsewhere like you're Miley Stewart. So like maybe
Yeah,
right
I'm
now,
gone rogue
you're-
now.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you're
And but that's the thing. I feel like when you live in two different worlds, you can constantly run away from your other world if you want.
I know, yeah.
So that is the beauty of it.
And I do tend to want to.
Same.
Okay, perfect.
Okay.
Okay, now we are.
Do
what?
you go?
What's yours?
Selena Gomez,
Oh yes.
Miley Cyrus, Raven Simone, and Lizzie McGuire.
Oh my God, Lizzie
I can't believe we
McGuire.
forgot about her. She's the best.
She's totally, what the
I
fuck?
love her. Her
That
on the
was a
back of her
blank,
motorbike.
okay. That
Oh
was
my
a blank.
God.
Shit.
Yeah,
Like,
we-
I put Phineas on mine.
Yeah, that is terrible. I don't know enough about Phineas.
Well, I do love Phineas and Ferb. Oh my God, Lizzie McGuire.
Oh my God, I loved her.
So yesterday. Okay, so for our final segment, we have come up with a bit of a reoccurring
Theme.
that we're going to do, and it's called Hoe Rowe behaviour. You heard that right. Ho is a trend that is tearing up the internet at the moment. When I first said it to Sarah, I was like, "Oh, we could talk about being a Ho," and she's
I was
like,
like, I wasn't one.
yeah, no, she's like shifting everyone, like shifting and riding. Is that what you mean? I was like, no. I was like, I mean, young ho is like doing things that would be considered young ho behavior.
Yeah.
Which I saw on, like, if we take like generic examples, it's like using every single spice in your cabinet while you're cooking because you're young ho.
Yeah.
You know.
And then it would be something
More on my
like
phone.
putting on the dishwasher and not like being strategic about it and throwing things in whatever way. Like I remember at one point I put like I just throw them in. I'm like, oh, I want all of this to go in the wash, so I put it all in together and I wouldn't care what direction it was in. And then Scoot said to me one day, he was like, what is going on with the dishwasher? Like, that is unacceptable behaviour. And I was like, it wasn't me. The dishwasher did this roly-poly thing, and that's why the bowls are left like this.
And the bowls would be full to the
of
brim.
water, yeah.
Like Sarah would put a full lasagna.
I'd be like, I don't care. I know the dishwasher is going to have my back here and it's going to sort this one out.
One of them I saw online, I'm just looking at here, is, I think this is so funny, the TV one. There's this girl on TikTok and she moves her TV from her sitting room to her bedroom every night because she doesn't need 2 TVs.
Yeah.
That's such queen behavior. That's so funny.
Yeah, no, that's out of control.
And another one that is like you is, this one's about driving, pretending to check my blind spot, but I don't really know how to, so I just hope for the best when I change lanes because I'm a young ho.
Literally.
That's you.
That is, yeah, that's me. I am I've improved on the road.
Yeah, you've
reckless, improving,
I remember
getting better.
Sarah picks me up, and this is young ho behavior. Sarah picks me up, and probably I get open the passenger
Tunes
door.
blaring out the window.
Tunes blaring, and then like she has to like take everything that's on the passenger seat, throw it into the back. That's a problem for future Sarah. And then you get in, and I'm not joking. She's in the car with a mug from inside the house.
Yeah.
Like a mug full to the brim of coffee. Like going everywhere. How are you, Buse? Yup. Like, oh, that's hot. Like driving the car like that. I was like, Sarah, you can't bring those out of the house. And then to put the cherry on top, there's another mug in the middle of the car that she had from yesterday.
Yeah.
Or maybe a couple of weeks ago.
I have gotten better. My father told me, he's like, Sarah, if you want to be successful in life, your car needs to be organised and your room needs to be organised. He's like, it was a reflection of your life, your mind, everything. And I'm like, yes, Dad. So then another behaviour that I've done to try cover up what Dad tells me that I need to do that's better, because I never want to let down my dad.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, okay, if my room needs to be tidy, how do I make it tidy and how do I do it quick? So this is a very young ho behaviour as well. I throw everything into the wardrobe, and then I close the door and I'm like,
perfect,
voila,
that's
it
the
is
way I do it.
So clean in here. But then you go into my wardrobe and everything spills out. So young ho.
Your capsule wardrobe falling
my capsule
all over
wardrobe.
you.
That is, I'm improving, but that is where I have been. I'm just a work in progress.
I don't know, am I ever going to get to that? Like,
I think I'm getting there, but it's just like slow. Like a year ago, I would have done that whole wardrobe thing. Now it's like 50-50. Things hung up. Things could be everywhere.
True. I've been good at hanging up things lately. Certain things need to be hung up.
Yeah. And Mom always says to me as well, she's like, it takes 5 seconds. When you take off your jacket, just put it straight into the wardrobe. And I'm like, why does it have to go from the chair to the bed to the ground to the wardrobe? There's almost like the steps.
Do you have one of those chairs with everything on it? Yeah. No, I had one of those chairs in one of my houses in Dublin, and I had a nightmare one night. I woke up and I literally thought it was an old lady. It was so big out like this, and there was something on top of it. And I was like, oh my god, there's an old lady in my room.
No, like, yeah, there's so many. What's the other one? The other one is last night I was trying to think of like young ho behaviors, and I was like, went to put on my alarm for this morning. And when I say I have thousands of alarms sitting there, but I every single day reset a new one. So like 7 o'clock is done 100 times over. So I sent him the video, and he was like, "That is
Let
like
me actually just so you can see, because you can reuse alarms."
Yes, I know that, but for some reason I don't trust them.
Yeah. So I'm gonna do it on this camera, Gabe. Okay. So this is what Sarah sent me. This is how many alarms she has. I'm gonna turn up my brightness so we can definitely see this. This is how many alarms Sarah has on her phone.
Oh, but they go on forever and ever.
Weep, people. This is what we're dealing with. The Irish Psycho.
Yeah.
You've heard of American Psycho. Now, let's get ready for Irish Psycho. That is crazy. And Sarah, being a young ho as well, we had a meeting recently. We were meeting at 12:30. And I was like, oh, you asked me to meet you. And then I was like, or whatever at that time. And then I was like, yeah, perfect. And then hadn't heard from Sarah at all. Like, she didn't accept the meeting invite. I'm sitting on the call. It's 12:30. Goes, Sarah has accepted your invite. And then she goes, hi, how are you? Like, she jumps on. I was like, thank you for, giving me some warning that you would be at the call. Yeah, she's like in a cafe with wet hair.
Yeah.
But I thought of a young ho story. Me and Fiona Hart going to Vegas to go see Beyonce.
Okay.
Some crack. I literally moved to New York on the 25th of July. We went out that night. The morning of the 26th of July, flew to Vegas. Okay. So I got home from the night at like 2. Fiona got home at like 5. Fiona went like this, alarm. Like, had to get up straight away. We went to JFK, we got into Vegas at around 8:30 a.m. you know, because we booked the cheap flights.
Yeah.
Got in at 8:30 a.m. and then like got to the
Costs
hotel.
you in the long run.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, it was probably $15 more just to get in at a decent time and to get a good sleep. And because we were so tired, we're like, we need to go to sleep somewhere. Like, and like we were walking around the airport and in the hotel with our eye masks on our head because we're like, we just need to sleep somewhere. And so we got to the hotel, went out into the pool with our suitcases. And brought the suitcases out. And this was like, you know, Vegas is in Nevada, which is in the desert. And you have to pay to get shelter from the sun in these big pool resorts. And we obviously didn't pay. So we were like this, like sleeping on the chair with our suitcases open beside us on the ground. Like my jocks and socks everywhere, like sleeping like this in the direct July desert sun. Just lying like this asleep, cooking, because we got to Vegas so early because we booked cheap flights and because we're young hoes.
Yes, there's actually, like, that's a scandalous story, but there is so many of those and those airport stories, but we definitely can't spoil it because we would have 10 of them each, if not more.
I'd be here all day. Even thinking about the airport makes me feel hungover.
No, like literally, it's like as if you're like, oh no, the flight's at 6 a.m. and then 12 o'clock that night, you're like, better go out tonight.
Yeah, no, like, no, that's so
better.
True. You're like, because you're like, the holiday has begun.
The plot.
Yeah, the holiday has begun. It's like, fuck it, I'll go out for a few drinks. Do you have a drink in the airport?
If I was on my way to the holiday, not on the way back, because the way back, I'm like, I'm a sad sack.
But like, let's say it's like not a holiday. Like if you were like going on a work trip or something, like would you like have a glass of wine?
I wouldn't.
No?
Well, because of sport, like I have to pick and choose my moments. So it's like when I enjoy myself, I do, but I'm just like, I can't just casually do that.
I love a glass of white wine in the airport.
Yeah, I can imagine.
Yeah, no, it's like
Lord
it's
Muck
very nice.
in the
Lord
airport.
Muck. And then I end up having like 4 and I'm like paralytic on my laptop.
And you're on your own.
And I'm on my own, I'm walking around listening to music.
I love that. When you see it over here in New York, it's like people are on their laptops and they're just having a casual drink during the day. I
do that.
You're bliss.
Yeah, no, it's a vibe.
Yeah, I love it.
We'll actually get back to that because
we have a lot more to discuss.
That's actually a good point to discuss alone nights out.
Yeah. Oh, you would have done a lot of those. Anyway,
I've done those.
Okay,
yeah,
we stop there. That's enough. We've hit our quota. Time's up again, Jack. Yeah. We will.
Well, I'm so much happier with this episode than
Same,
episode 1.
Jack.
Oh my god,
it was so much more relaxing. We could just like, you know.
I thought we were going to have to disband our partnership,
and we were like, "Is this going to even work?" We know it's going to work.
Yeah, no. This is a taste of what's to come. Thank you so much, guys, for tuning in. My name is Jack Rowe.
I'm Sarah Rowe.
And yeah, that's about it. This episode is proudly sponsored by High Five Clothing in Ballina, County Mayo. Specialists in branded clothing, embroidery, printing, workwear, and custom gear. A big part of what makes the place what it is, though, is Conor Rowe.
Go on, Conor.
Conor works closely with everyone and brings a real personal touch to it all. And to be fair, he is a gas man as well. If you need quality custom clothing done properly, High Five Clothing are well worth checking out. Yeah, okay, let's go. Okay, and to do our little outro, this is a shout out to Suzanne Rowe, our amazing auntie who taught us this little party trick. I hope you liked our show. Perfect.